Yeah. And we are back again, this time on another sucker-free Tuesday night. What about you? Me, I'm doing absolutely fabulous. Having a sucker-free NIGHT. And it is our hopes that you two are having a fantastic night. Staying sucker-free, that is. You know, when you're not sucker-free, a lot of bad things can happen to you. Like being a victim of a crime, being a victim of a circumstance that probably could have been avoided had you paid a little bit more attention to it. Yeah, sucker free. And speaking of sucker free, I don't know if I was just a sucker, because I just had a live that took place, and people say they couldn't hear me in the live when everything was well on my end. Maybe YouTube may have accidentally, I don't know. My volume was up and my mic is not on mute. So I don't know why I'm on mute. Either they don't want me to talk, or, there's a gadget in the system. Yeah, a little glitch. Just a little glitch in the system. But we back. And we're glad that you all have stayed and stuck around to see what we had to say. Yeah. It's crazy outside. Here in Chicago, a lot of crazy things are going on. But before we get to those crazy things, I want to send some shots out. I want to send a shout out to Judy Pace. Do you all remember Judy Pace? Judy Pace, the chocolate bombshell actress back in the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. Whew. Yeah. She was most definitely a hit in sitcoms such as Sanford and Son, The Jeffersons, and Good Times. Among a lot of other black great films that took place back in the 70s. She was 83 years old when she passed away. Shouts out to Judy Pace. And another one has bitten the dust. Do you all remember Kiki Shepard from Night at the Apollo? Someone like the aide of Sinbad. Remember her? She would come out in her little dress and everything. Yeah, she too is dead at the age of 74. Now, if you remember these TV shows, like I do, Good Times, The Jeffersons, The Apollo, Sanford and Son, back in the day, and seeing that these actors are dying, you're blessed if you're still talking today. We just recently lost Damon Wilson from Sanford and Son. Remember him as well? Yeah, another one we just lost. And his name was Grady Damon Wilson, just as the character named Grady was Grady Wilson. It's ironic. Yeah. So we want to give those two ladies, their roses today. Kiki Shepard and Judy Pace. Rest in peace. You all will be missed. And thank you for all of the cool episodes, entertainment, laughs, and ooh-oohs, and zoo-zoos, and wham-whams. Thank you. Hey, what's going on, Melissa? Esteban, what's going on? Shouts out to Esteban. Gratitude. Appreciate that. Yeah. So they're gone. Just like another place is gone. Nice to meet you too, Esteban. Another place that's gone. You know, like the Brits, the Britons, you know? Yeah, you know, the Brits. They like to go to this place called Holiday Island. And it too is going to be gone. Not like wiped off the face of the earth like Malibu Beach was. But no, gone in the essence that notorious mob bosses, murderers, and terrorists is being relocated to Holiday Island. So if you had planned a vacation to Italy and you wanted to go to Holiday Island, you just may want to change your mind. Now you have all of these protesters that's out there in Italy. Of course, they don't want notorious mob crime bosses in their region, communities, neighborhood. They don't want that. Terrorists, murderers. Now, according to the report, it's going to be like 250 of them. And it's going to be 3 jails, I guess small prisons, from the way that they described it in the report. You have the murderers in one, the mob bosses in one, the notorious mob bosses, and the terrorists in 3 different cells, 3 different prisons, to a well-known, luxurious, famous place that the Brits love. Damn. Do I really feel sorry for you? Nope. I'm just saying. So you may want to reconsider your plans or thoughts if you had planned to visit Holiday Island. Yeah, you can forget about it. It's lights out, okay? And speaking of lights out, they got lights out here in Chicago. Yeah, lights out. 11 p.m., this is seasonal lights out for residents of the city who live downtown in those skyscrapers or up north in those skyscrapers that has 40 stories or more. And they say that they would highly appreciate you not only to save money on your energy bill, seeing that energy bills are surging through the roof, but it helps the birds that are actually migrating to different parts of the planet, of the U.S. Those lights in the skyscrapers that has above 40 stories, it messes with their navigational system, and it causes them to run around the same place a couple of times, causes them to run into each other, causes them to slam straight into your 40-store window. Yeah, if you live downtown, you know exactly what I'm talking about. My mom stays downtown, and birds are always smacking her condo window. Always. Anybody else out there? So it's a curfew. Now, they tried that other curfew, you know, with these teens. That's not going to happen. Sad that they're killing themselves. They're not going to listen to me. They're not going to listen to you. They're not going to listen to their mama or their daddy. I left you some videos. The last 4 video uploads I left you. And you have all of these black leaders. Seeing that we're talking about curfews and lights out. Black people are on a low level of energy right now. More than most people are in the entire world. Why? Because we've been at the bottom. Economically, socially, and politically. Actual facts, not talking racism, okay? That's just where the system placed us. They placed you in the ghetto, left you in the ghetto. You worked your way out, great. If you didn't, sorry for you, or shame on you, or sometimes that's just how life rolls. But needless to say, right, this is where we at. And seeing that no one can help you change your mind. And I'm not just talking about black people now, but I'm specifically talking to black people. Seeing that black people always wanted to, be resurrected. They wanted to get their greatness back again. You sold out your greatness for hip hop. You sold out your greatness, not for hip hop, but for rap. You sold your greatness out for rap music, not hip hop music, but rap music, especially drill rap music. You sold yourself out to basketball and wives. You sold yourself out to drugs. You sold yourself out to those things that you knew that were bad for you. I'm just keeping it a buck right now. And the world is feeling the same effects because they too have been victims, not being sucker free of the demonic system that we've been victimized by. But we have a choice in this matter. I don't know where that came from. Maybe that was for somebody out there. I wasn't expected to go that way. But that's the way it went. If this is your first time chiming in, I want to say thank you for chiming in, because you could have been somewhere else with someone else doing something else, but you decided to stop by to see what we had to say. Wow, I really don't know where that came from. That was no part of the conversation that we had going, but I guess it was for somebody. Thank you for being there. And like I said, if this is your first time chiming in, we ask that you do the ritual. Yeah, take the Hajj and smash the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell and the word all. And speaking of Hajj, Ramadan is almost over. Can't wait to get to that Eid feast, you dig? Yeah! So for those who are making it through this Ramadan, thumbs up, keep it going, only a couple of days left. Cherie, what's going on? Shouts out to Cherie in the building, you all. But keeping it on a good note in Chicago, because we got to the lights out thing, but I went to the lights out with black people just killing each other, putting their own lights out. Yeah, I went there for a hot second. I don't know who that was for, but it was for somebody, okay? Have you all been to like a candlelight concert? If you've never been to one, you should try it. You just may enjoy the experience. Despite all of the violence and cruelness and viciousness that's going on within the city, you can participate and enjoy yourself. Great evening, great time, great people at a candlelight concert. Yeah. And whom it is being delivered by Vivaldi, the Four Seasons, well-known historically music program. Yeah. So if you're into that, or you want to do something new in the city and get away from the normal hustle and bustle, slow it down, live a little, feel like you're a giant a little, but be ready to splurge a little now, okay? It ain't cheap. But it sets you in a different zone, a different atmosphere, and possibly it may set you to meet some new people that can help you on a new journey, a new path. You never know. You might meet somebody you've been looking for there. I'm just saying. Yeah, candlelight concert. And they haven't one in Evanston as well. Yeah, right there in Evanston. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And speaking of Evanston, which is the suburbs, we have the next door neighbor here on the opposite side of Evanston, going to Indiana, Indianapolis, where killing is going on there, where you think you're going somewhere to get a real deal of a meal. And you get clap, pop, 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 pop. Get your electricity cut off at none other than Longhorn Steakhouse. Yeah, the Steakhouse killer took place right there in the lobby of the steakhouse place, Longhorns. An argument ensued, and the next thing you know, somebody pulls out the ratchet and bang, bang. Give it to him right there. And according to the reports, they had the suspect in custody, but let him go. The 24-year-old man, Justin Hignite, Hignite, yeah, he's dead. No further reports, but he's dead. There's so much death taking place in Chicago. I wanted to give Chicago a break on death and, do a story on some other state that's got death going on. I mean, it's easy to do, seeing that death seems to be the order of the day, but yet and still, could you imagine yourself entering into the steakhouse, waiting to be seated? You and your mate, you and your family member, you and your child or children, you walk in and somebody got a gun out, killing another man. Could be another woman, because women are out here killing women as well. Yeah. They shooting people too. Just like the incident that took place here on the 200 block of North LeClaire. Woman shooting another woman. Man shooting another man. They knew each other. They knew whom shot them. Yeah. The man got shot in the leg. On 200 block of North LeClaire. Right off Lake between there and Maypole, And the chick, she was driving the car. Some chick approached her and just started firing in the car. She got grazed. And that was on Long Street. Yeah, this is on Long. Not too far from North Avenue. Women be carrying that bang bang too. Women ain't playing out here either. It seems to me that human beings have become the endangered species. Save the whales, save the animals, save the dogs, have refugees for them, have some shelter for them. But humans have nowhere to go. It says that birds will have nests and foxes will have holes, but the Son of Man will not have a place to lay his head. Yet we say that we're God's children under the devil's rulership. Damn. Right? Right? Just think of all of the animals that's here on the earth, insects and everything. They don't worry about nothing. And they don't pay for nothing. They pay to stay here for free. Yes, which means they pay zero. They pay to stay here for free, which means they pay zero because they don't make money. They built their own homes from whatever nature provided for them. They eat their own food, which nature provided for them. But man, according to this demonic system that has been in place, according to historians, say the past 6,000 years, this type of rule has been, and it has only gotten worse for humanity. Here it is. People say that they are the child of God or the children of God, but yet they're killing each other. They're robbing from each other, stealing from each other. Thou shalt not steal, Donald Trump and Netanyahu. Thou shalt not steal. And seeing that I'm already on Netanyahu, that was something on my mind that had come back to me. But seeing that we're on Netanyahu right now, that Israel leader, did you all know that he graduated from high school in White Coat, Pennsylvania? Hey, what's going on, Nicole McIntyre? What's going on? Shouts out to you. Shouts out to everybody in the chat room. What's going on, Cherie? Shouts out to Esteban. Shouts out to everybody out there. And if this is your first time chiming in, we ask that you kindly smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and the word all to help ensure that you get notifications when we upload videos on YOUTUBE. And those condiments, the like and the share, when you press those along with the subscribe, it helps the video get through the algorithm a little bit more quicker, better, efficiently. So we ask that you do that. And not to mention the fact that we are on our way to 10,000 subscribers. So it is our hopes that you take that journey with us and be a part of the 10,000 subscriber journey that is taking place on this platform, THEMOSHOW Chicago. Okay. Yeah. Netanyahu. Did you all know that Netanyahu graduated from a high school in White Coat, Pennsylvania? I didn't know that until I did a little research. I didn't know that he played chess. Didn't know that he played soccer. Yeah, he was into things like that. He was nominated into his high school Hall of Fame back in 1999. And after he graduated in 1967, he went back to Israel to join their army to defend the country. Never knew he graduated from an American high school in Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia. How many of you all knew that? I didn't. Netanyahu, the warlord, and his father, Ben Zion, yeah. His father was a teacher. His father was a teacher in Philadelphia. What did he teach? What did his father teach? But we know that his father was a devoted Zionist. Just like Trump is a Zionist. Yeah, just like Trump is a Zionist. They say Trump belongs to this religious cult called crypto Jews. Yeah, him and Netanyahu. Yeah, crypto Jews. I'm supposed to have been something else on the conversation. We weren't supposed to be here yet. I don't know how I went there, but it's all good. Trump and Netanyahu. I guess I'll go backwards then with the title. That's how the conversation is going. So I just go with the flow. Donald Trump says that he wants to reinstitute the draft, the military draft, which means that they would have to update their selective service information and software. Now, this is something that hasn't been used in over 50 years. The military draft. The last time that it was used or tried to be used was in the Jimmy Carter's era. Ironically, Jimmy Carter worked to enact the draft again while he was where? In Iran. And Donald Trump is where? In Iran. You see, Jimmy Carter was trying to get out some hostages. Donald Trump is trying to get out some oil and resources. Has nothing to do with humanity, but only for the greed of billionaires and for conquerorship. Conquerorship that many say Operation Epic Fury is a failure. They say Operation Epic Fury should have never happened. And I would happen to agree with those who say just that. Donald Trump says that we won, but yet is screaming for help. The allies are laughing at him. In fact about it, the prime ministers of so-called allied countries like France, like the UK, like Norway, like Sweden, Canada, you know what they've done? They began to make changes into their own alliances of what they would do without Donald Trump. Yeah. They basically locking him out. Would you join Donald Trump on his rampage of evil, rampage of takeover with Netanyahu if you were one of his allies? Would you do that? Would you put your own country in jeopardy to ride with this dictator, one who does not have any care for life, for anybody, except Donald Trump and his administration? Even his administration is so frustrated, and they are beginning to tear themselves away from Donald Trump and the MAGA, just like the top intelligence official Joe Kent did. Yeah, I know y'all heard about Joe Kent now. Come on now. Joe Kent said that he had to resign after the unpopular war, the gangster war, the hostile takeover war, the not approved war that Donald Trump is involved in. Joe Kent says that he don't want no parts of it no more. He don't want no part of MAGA. Could you imagine being one of the top intel officials saying that you quit? I warned the United States to stay out of Iran in those 4 videos. Just go watch those 4 video uploads that I left for you all that they seem to have flagged. I mean, like, what do you do with a flagged video? But I told the United States, and so did Minister Louis Farrakhan, Donald Trump says that he wants to put boots on the ground. Boots on the ground for what? You say you destroyed everything. Boots on the ground for what? If boots on the ground happens, many experts say that the draft will probably take place. Nixon ended it in 73, but like I said, Carter came back and tried to get the hostages out, tried to reenact it. But if Donald Trump tries to reenact it, it is just my educated guess that many Americans won't comply. What do you think? Do you think many Americans would apply for the draft if it was actually enacted again? Do you think that Donald Trump cares about your son or your daughter? Do you think Donald Trump cares about you? Even if you are a MAGA lover, in fact about it, let me ask you something for all of you MAGA lovers that's out there. How many of you all have children that's in the military right now? MAGA lovers. Anybody out there that supports this demon of a man? This Hitler of a man? Yes, Hitler of a man. And I mentioned something about that in my last live about Donald Trump being Hitler's protege. And that's 100. If you studied the moves of Hitler, you would find Donald Trump's moves trying to be quite similar to his. But Donald Trump already made a mistake in the fact that Donald Trump never served in the military. Hitler did. Hitler had the support of the people. Donald Trump don't have the support of the people right now. Yeah, Donald Trump does not have the support of the American people right now. And for all of you MAGA lovers that's out there who say that Donald Trump is a great president and we've never had a great president like him before. Isn't that right, Nicki Minaj? With your bootlicking ass. Okay? Yeah, Nicki Minaj, the bootlicker. And she didn't even have to donate the $1 million. See how stupid she was? Or how they use you to show the masses of the world how you promote them or how to make yourself look dumb. Anyway, that's another story. A long-going story, right, with the Nicki Minaj thing. But yeah, Donald Trump is in an unwanted war. Even Pope Leo XIV spoke out against this war, yet Pete Hegseth said that this is a holy war and that God sanctioned this war in Iran. Do you think that God sanctioned this war in Iran? Do you agree with Pete Hegseth? Do you agree with him? I know the Pope don't even agree with him. You know, that's all over the news, all over the world, all over the newspapers, that the Pope does not support Donald Trump in this unpopular war. Nobody does. And anybody that's in the region over there in the Middle East that has some ties with the United States, has United States interest, Iran is bombing them. Yeah, you're on their side, right? Take that. That's what they did. Launching those missiles. Take that. Take that. Take that. Take that. Even Donald Trump has to admit defeat. He wants to admit defeat so bad, but he can't. Donald Trump is a loser. Donald Trump is a loser as a president. He's a loser as a president. And he's bringing this country down to nothing right before your very eyes. And this is what you all voted for. You voted for a man who will bring America down to his knees, possibly to his ashes, while he's escapading somewhere in a bunker or in the air on one of those military planes. Yeah, that's what's going on right now. But you voted for him, and now you don't know how to get him out. You gave him your power. Look, that's just like me being a genie, okay? I'm the master genie, meaning you the people, okay? And I want to make this guy a president. So I give him a little powers to see what he do, but never enough power to overtake the master genie, which is you all. And you gave him the power to not only take over you, but over the lives of your children, over your financial being, over your economic being. You give this one man that type of power. You give this man power that you don't even give your own wife or your own husband. How many of you all have husband and wives that you all have different bank accounts? Donald Trump has all of your information, and you don't even know the man. You don't even know the man. And right now, the man whom you elected is leading you to the slaughterhouse and possibly an American attack, which has never happened on American soil. So if that does occur, that means that Donald Trump has made more history in America. He can actually call himself an infamous historian. Yeah, led America straight down the tubes. What type of effect is this war having on consumers? What type of effect is it having on you and your daily household? Did anybody get that energy bill this month? And according to the reports, gas is going to continue to soar at the pump. Yeah, it's going to continue to soar. Even Donald Trump said that. Even Donald Trump had to give Iran their respect when he said that it was unexpected. He never expected them to do this. He never expected them to do that. He underestimated their firing capability. And now he's willing to put your son and daughter over there in this madness. So not only are you losing your son and your daughter, your prices are still going up. And you still can't get them out of office because as long as there's a war, there's no impeachment. However, the Republicans have got to know, common sense wise, that they're done. The Republican Party at this point has got to know that they are cooked. Do you agree? Yeah. They have to know that they are cooked. Especially with Donald Trump being at their helm. Cooked. What can they say to the American people that the American people would want to hear? Like I said, I even threw the Republicans a lifeline the other day. Just to keep, the sharks off a little bit. And that's by removing student debt loan from American citizens. They don't even want to do that. Third world countries do that now. No, we cooked 4 years ago. Hey, shouts out to Williams out there. Yeah, we all cooked here, man. We all cooked. But like I said, Donald Trump didn't expect this type of heat. He did not expect this type of retaliation from little Iran. But little Iran had something for him. Firepower that he wasn't expecting. How can you initiate a draft, Donald Trump, when you are a draft dodger? Can anybody help me out? Can anybody help me out? I didn't want to forget that. How could Donald Trump enact the draft when he is a draft dodger? I don't think the American people will comply. I think that he will have a fist full of feedback. A fist full of feedback that he don't want to see, that he's not going to like. He even spoke about AI and how AI is dangerous in the hands of the wrong people. Was AI and those images that you put up, Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, was that in the hands of the wrong people, Donald Trump? It's not your hands, the hands of the wrong people. Huh? Y'all got to be kidding me. And like I said, if this is your first time chiming in, you all, I ask that you do what? Smash the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your CONVERSATION. And speaking of this Operation Epic Fury, Iran told China that they can come on through. They told China that they can come through the Strait of Hormuz. Come on through. Now, while this exchange is going on, we don't want any more American money. We want the yuan. You know, the Y-U-A-N, yuan. Yeah. Yeah. Canceling out U.S. money right there before we even do business here. Donald Trump is driving the dollar of America down the toilet. If you think that your dollar was worth 60 cents, well, after Donald Trump is getting through, your dollar just may be worth a dime. Your dollar just may be worth a dime. Donald Trump himself said that a 52-year legacy of being a financial giant in the world, he could possibly bring that down. It could possibly come down during his reign, during his Oval Office election, during his administration. America's going down, 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 down. You know, like when you playing the video games and it goes down the drain, down the drain. Now, I'm not laughing at the dollar that's going down. I'm laughing at Donald Trump being a failure as a narcissist, being a failure as a dictator, being a failure of a great country, being the failure of bigotry. Donald Trump, your plans, your aims, your narratives are biting you somewhere that you don't want to itch. Yeah, he's seeking mad cover right now. Hiding. Why don't he send his children? I think that if you are a politician, you or your son or your wife, somebody should have served already, okay? Somebody should have served already, especially you, seeing that you're the president. I think that being in the military is a requirement. At least Hitler was a soldier, Donald Trump. At least Hitler was a soldier. Yet you want to be the helm of tyranny. Drain the swamp. Yeah, that's his motto. Drain the swamp. And ever since he's been in office, he's been draining your wallet. What's in your wallet? You know, like capital, you have none. Damn. You have none in your wallet, okay? Zero cash back. Thanks to Donald Trump. Thanks to Donald Trump. Thanks to Donald Trump. And you also cook at the airlines. You also cooked at the airlines because over 300 TSA members have quit. That's right. Over 300 TSA workers, agents have quit. Frustrated. Can't pay their rent. Can't pay their car note. Can't keep their lights on. Borrowing money to get to work. Not knowing when they're going to get a check. How many billions of dollars does Donald Trump have? Couldn't Donald Trump just reach into his own account and pay these TSA workers? Come on. He's not trying to give any room for any good to happen to him. Yeah, he's not leaving any room for any of the citizens to feel any guiltiness. He could pay those TSA workers right out of his own bank account and wouldn't miss a penny of it. So when you go to the airport, you may have to get there 6 hours early. Jet fuel has went up crazily. All of these spring break places, like Daytona Beach, where they stormed that beach at. Could you imagine what it costs right now to stay in Daytona Beach or the surrounding areas? Chaos erupted. Gunfire took place. 5 people shot right there in Daytona Beach. Houston had another spring break catastrophe at a rodeo. What do we expect? Our president is at the helm of war, encourages violence, encourages people to act like they are beasts in human form. He encouraged that type of behavior. He encourages that. If he didn't, why is he over there trying to take somebody else's stuff? Why is he trying to take their oil? Anyway, right? Getting off that cat. TSA's 300 has been fired and over 1,000 flights. Over 1,000 flights here in Chicago have been canceled. Between Midway and O'Hare airports, over 1,000 flights canceled. So be careful while you're out there trying to take a spring break trip. Not only is the airlines battling weather, the pilots, they're dealing with the TSA situation here. How are these people getting through security? Have you looked at the lines on the news? I'm just saying. Have you looked at the impatience of people? Have you looked at people at airports? Can you imagine? Now, these flights I canceled. Some airlines may give you a spiff and put you up in a hotel room. That is not likely to happen unless your flight is 2 days late, something like that. But the next night, funds that you didn't have, money that you don't have, you may have to spend it on another hotel room or just find yourself sleeping in the airport. And a lot of those flights, it's days until their next flight is to be out. People are stuck in countries, Mexico, India, Arabia. People are stuck in these countries, all because of Netanyahu and Donald Trump. I don't think that they had figured this thing out thoroughly. Yeah, they didn't think this through thoroughly. And like I said, all of those prime ministers of Canada, Sweden, Norway, Spain, UK, they don't want anything to do with him. In fact, they want to be like China. We want our things to continue to move through the Strait of Hormuz with no problem. And if you want us to transfer the money over, we'll do that too. No more American dollar. Now, if they're doing that to the Chinese, because the Chinese don't want no smoke. In fact, about it, the Chinese are going to help them, if anything, against the U.S. and Netanyahu. And when you have Iran and China against Israel and the U.S., who do you think is going to win? Huh? Who do you think is going to win? Not to mention the fact that Russia is already backdooring the man, Yeah. Zelensky already let that out. But Donald Trump say that they do it too. They backdoor each other. But he's crying for help. And nobody wants to help him. Donald Trump has lied so much. I don't know how you all can trust this guy. I reflect on the speeches during the elections, and he was doing this debate. I thought this one's got the mindset of an 8th grade bully, I swear. Shouts out to Alfonso. Well, he does. He's a bully, but he's a spoiled bully. He bullied his way because of privilegedness, not because he's tough. Not because he's tough. If Donald Trump was the regular average Joe, he can get slapped right in the middle of the street, smacked down, he wouldn't even fight back. He wouldn't even fight back. I'm just saying. But the man's a billionaire, and he's the president. So he ain't got no, that ain't his problem right now. But he was a regular average day Joe that stayed in the city of New York, and he talked that smack and crazy talk and demonic and disrespectful talk to another everyday average day Joe, he'll get beat up. Punks jump up to get beat down. Remember that? Chumps jump up to get beat down. Yeah, that's sort of tricky. Back in the day, Who made that chumps jump up to get beat down? Damn, who made that? Was Lord Jamar in that group? Was it Grand Nubians? Real talk. What it is, you all? Yeah, he's a chump, not a champ. He's a chump and not a champ. And to make matters worse, do you know what he did to Joe Kent? You know, the top aide who resigned? Donald Trump said that he's glad that he's gone. How can you be glad that your top aide official is gone? He has to stand up like that, so not to make himself look more weaker than he already is. He's a loser. So for everybody in America right now who's worried about who's going to win the primaries and all of that stuff, this man is already impeached, okay? Whenever this thing is over, he's impeached. Even if it's at the end of his term, he's finished, okay? So there's no need for you to worry about if there's going to be a Donald Trump ever again, because there won't be. There will never, ever, ever, ever be another Donald Trump. Do you hear me? He's finished. And all of those Republicans that was with him is finished. Just like his right-hand girl, Pam Bondi. Oh, y'all know who I'm talking about. Yeah, we ain't forgot about Pam Bondi, see. We ain't forgot about her. Now, Pam Bondi has been subpoenaed by Congress to appear and testify about those Epstein files. Oh, she thought she was getting away with something. Pam Bondi thought she was getting away with something. She's not getting away with nothing. And I'm sure that they're going to ask her to bring those other 3 million files, 2.6 million, 2.4 million, whatever, how many that they will not release. I'm sure that Congress wants to see the remaining of them files. And they want to see how much or how many times that Donald Trump's name is mentioned. And they want to know the names of those men who have made those settlements, that hush, hush, quiet money. They want all those names. How about that vice president getting nominated to take Trump? The drag queen, J.D. Vance, will not be taking his place. I want to say that one more time. The drag queen, J.D. Vance, will not be taking his place. Are you still training dolphins, sir? Hey, what's going on? The Walmart dude. Hey, you all. If you all want to know about training dolphins, you all go to B.B. Yeah, the last person in the comment section. How you been doing, man? Yeah, man, it's just been a rough week for me, man. I've been unable to walk, for the week. I'm on crutches, actually. But things are getting better, and I'm about to get, back mobile. But things have been tough, man. How you been? That's what's up. Glad to see you in the chat room again, man. Hey, this guy's hilarious. Yeah, but getting back to Pam Bondi. She's been subpoenaed, and she has to do this tomorrow. The House Oversight Committee, Congress. Could you imagine what they're going to say on the news tomorrow? Pam Bondi cannot itch her way out of this. No. Because she can go to jail. Let's see if Pam Bondi goes to jail or if she stands up for Donald Trump. Which one do you think? Do you think Donald... But she's going to have to conform anyway to release those files. She's going to have to do that regardless. See, Donald Trump got her in something that she may not be able to handle. Have you seen the face of Pam Bondi lately? I can't wait to see her face tomorrow when she's, in court. Yeah, how she lied, how she covered up. Do you think she'll do time for Donald Trump? She's going to tell on everybody. Empathy, what's up? She better tell, because if not, she's going to jail. If not, she's going to jail. And rightfully so, she should go to jail. Yeah, we already know that she's covering up for him. Now it's her or him. Who do you all think she would choose? Empathy said that she's going to tell on everybody. Does anybody out there in the chat room think differently? Or do you think she would be the sacrifice for Donald Trump? Hell, she just may be cellmates with Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm just saying, absolutely outrageous. Yeah, get you some popcorn. Tomorrow, it's going to be national news everywhere. She is subpoenaed before Congress. Yeah, that's what it is. And like I said, she should be that way. She should be questioned. She should be under faith. Oh, under oath. Oh, and under oath. Oh, do you know Oath Keepers? Do you all remember that group called the Oath Keepers? Well, the leader of that Oath Keeper group, he too has denounced MAGA. Yeah, she's going to plead the fifth. Okay. She can only plead the fifth for so long. Because, see, they can come in, the Congress, they can come in and snatch all of that. However, she can have a chance to destroy it. But I'm sure that the hackers out here in the world has got a copy and list of those Epstein files. I'm sure of that. And I'm sure that if she tries to wiggle her way out of it and says that we deleted those files and we don't have those files, it's going to be assume the position, and put your hands behind your back. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. She got mass evidence that's against her straight up. Yeah. If you cannot afford an attorney general, one will afford it, appointed for you. Yeah. Could you imagine the attorney general needing a lawyer? She's screwed. The attorney general needing a lawyer to fight off the madness and the nonsense that she got into, dealing with none other than the infamous, unqualified, scrupulous Donald Trump. How many people are going down for this man? Remember Giuliani went down with him and all of his rappers and his cronies? He can all give them pardons and everything, but he himself is facing a doomsday. The Republicans, excuse me. Let me tell you something. The Democrats does not have to cheat, okay? Rob Blagovich, what's going on? That Judah, what's going on, Judah? What's going on, Judah? Judah to dope. Shouts out to Judah. Nobody is going to defend a liar. Hell, I don't know now. All of the people that were caught up in Donald Trump cases, you know, all of those, what was it, 34 people? Where he got 34 counts? All of them pled guilty. Even his lawyer had to get a lawyer. Damn, you're a lawyer on Donald Trump's team and you need a lawyer. Well, Pam Bondi is going to need a lawyer too. Yeah, she can plead the fifth all she wants, but that just makes her look more guilty. That just makes the whole administration looks guilty. And like I said, she better not come up with an excuse that, oh, the files have been deleted or we can't find them. Like I said, Ghislaine Maxwell will be her cellmate. Yeah, the world wants to know when your own party is tired of you. Don't worry, the Democrats does not have to cheat. The Democrats are not going to have to cheat on nothing. It's going to be a landslide for the Democrats. Do you hear me? It's going to be a landslide for the Democrats. They're going to take the House back. They're going to take the House back. And all of you Republicans need to be looking for a new job. Just like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. You know, the guy that's in part of Department of Health and Human Services says that processed food will not be banned here in America, despite the fact that processed food causes cancer in human beings, but yet the food is not banned. Another unqualified person, just like that Susie Wiles chick, you know, Secretary of what? She's the chief of staff, never seen a day in war, never fought a war, don't know anything about military strategy. Yeah, that Susie Wiles chick, you know, got breast cancer. Who cares, right? You know, nobody's feeling no really mercy for her. She just looks like a Klanswoman that collects a check. You really don't even hear too much about his chief of staff or his administration, with the exception of Pam Bondi and Christy Knowles, because he does what he want to do anyway. Just like he talked about Canada. Talked about, well, I can do what I want to do with Canada. This is what Donald Trump said. He can do what he want to do with Canada. We can take it freely or we can take it aggressively. But Russia, on the other hand, don't think so, my man. Yeah, he said, what does Cuba matter? What does Cuba matter? Ask Russia, what does Cuba matter? You know, Donald Trump refused to give them oil, sell them oils. Their grid went out. You know what I mean? They facing, their country is facing financial crisis right now. Donald Trump himself is causing financial crises all over the planet. That's right. If this is your first time chiming in, we ask that you subscribe, like, and share. Smash up the likes, smash up the shares, smash up the subscribe. And we ask that you do that, which is one of the best ways to support the channel. However, we do have a membership on this channel here, whereas we have gold memberships and we have silver memberships, okay? If you are feeling generous enough to get a membership, great. But we understand if you can't with all of these hard times of energy surges, gas surges, rent surges, food surges, we understand. So we ask you to subscribe, like, and share. Yeah. And share the information with relatives, friends, and co-workers. Yeah, Donald Trump is finished. He's finished. And you got soldiers right now. You got soldiers right now who don't even want to fight this war. Could you imagine being the president of a country and your own soldiers don't even fight for you? Your own soldiers don't want to even fight for you because they know that you are crooked. They know that you are the #1 con man. They know that you've been telling lies. They know that you've been being deceitful. They know that you call them dumb. Do you all remember that? Donald Trump called military members dumb, yet they are the ones who protect this man, who protect this country, and yet he just ordered the Marines to go over there. Yeah, he ordered the Marines to go over there. They're already there. See? That's what they're not telling you. They already over there. And more Americans have died. More American soldiers has died already. They're not telling you yet. So don't be surprised when tomorrow you get news. Don't be surprised when you get news tomorrow that more soldiers are killed. I did say tomorrow. Yeah. I did say tomorrow. And if you are a Donald Trump supporter, there's a great chance that you just may have flipped the switch and joined the other side. Now, I'm not saying that the Democrats are better. I know that they would not have done this. You know, as in the words of Donald Trump, there would be no more foreign wars. That was a lie. Didn't he promise you all, MAGA lovers, that? Didn't he promise America that? There would be no more foreign wars. He's going to end all of that. Remember, he was supposed to end the war in Russia and Ukraine. And that war has been going on, what? 3-4 years right now? I'm just saying. Do you all think that Donald Trump is a loser? Because I think Donald Trump is a loser. And I think that those who ride with him are going to be losers. Just like Pam Bondi, just like Pete Hegseth, just like Susan Wiles, just like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. All of them are going to be losers. But all of them are holding on to Donald Trump. You know why? Because if they don't, and if they don't stand up for him or protect him, when he falls, they fall. You see? Hey, what's going on, Mamie? Annie Cheston, how you doing? Shouts out to Annie. Yeah, when he goes down, they go down. And they know that. And how old is these people? I'm sure they done stole enough money now that they can retire. Like they want to. They done stole a lot of money. And Lindsey Graham told you, we're going to make a ton of money while your children over there dying. Donald Trump made history again. He made America worst. He made America worst. Not great again, but however, there's a flip side to that coin. If people become people again and become civilized and understand who the real ops is, where there's no skin barrier, no color barrier, and love is shown instead of bigotry, kindness and empathy is shown versus hate. Could you imagine a world like that? Isn't that a world that you want to live in, that you dream of? Less violence, more people getting along, because we know that it's them versus us. It's them versus us. Because while we're out here struggling to pay rent, struggling to pay car notes, struggling to keep a roof over our heads, struggling to eat, Pete Hegseth is spending $93 million a month. I'm just saying. Y'all think about that. Okay? And I'm down to the last of my water, so you know what that means. You all be careful out here. Stay sucker free. Stay out of trouble. Stay away from ICE. And like I said, with all of the damage that Donald Trump is doing right now, he has completely made it super easy for Democrats to take the House back. What do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section. We'll love to hear from you. And by the way, if you are into audiobooks that's historical, like eye-opening history or mind-opening history, go over to my other channel, MOPOWERZ, here on YOUTUBE. That's MOPOWERZ, all one word, no space, here on YOUTUBE. And you will find the audiobook series like The Fall of America, The Message to the Black Man in America, The Demonology of King James, The Chronological Orders from Alchemy to Wicca, As a Man Thinketh, From Babylon to Timbuktu, Stolen Legacy, Black Man of the Nile and His Family, The Miseducation of the Negro, The World's 16 Crucified Saviors. Get yourself over there. MOPOWERZ, all one word, no space, here on YOUTUBE. And if you are into Chicago, anything old school, that is, comedians, rap artists, Chicago independent movies, go over to my other channel, THEMOSHOW Classics, all one word, no space, here on YOUTUBE. That's THEMOSHOW Classics, all one word, no space, here on YOUTUBE. And find the likes of Dion Cole, Reggie Reg, Diane Quarter, Quintella, Twister, Shauna, Do or Die, Creative, Quintessential, Mecca, One Man and a Mic, Killer Bloodline, Project Pat, all of that good stuff. High Pilot, Nomads, Ejilla Beats. We got it all over there on THEMOSHOW Classics, all one word, no space, here on YOUTUBE. And on your way out the door, on Shrimp and Steak. Hey, what's happening? That's what you're eating right now? Empathy on Shrimp and Steak. Oh, you're talking about for the soldiers. Yeah, he spent the $9 million on shrimp and lobster on the soldiers. Yeah, $9 million, that is. Empathy, I'm sorry about that. And the other $93 million, well, you know, they spend $500 million just on White House furniture every year. But this cat spends $93 million in a year and $9 million just on shrimp and lobster for the soldiers before they went over there to Iran. So you see, they already over there. Talking about boots on the ground. They are already over there. I ain't lying. I ain't lying. Straight up. And like I said, THEMOSHOW Classics, all one word, no space here on YOUTUBE. And on your way out the door, you all, make sure that you do what? Smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and the word all to help ensure that you get notifications when we upload videos here on YOUTUBE. And also press those condiments to like and to share. Share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your conversation. And I'm sure you all found out something that you probably didn't know in this video that I mentioned earlier. Did you know that Benjamin Netanyahu graduated from an American high school in Whitecoat, Pennsylvania, class of 1967? Y'all think about that. Peace out, you all. Yeah, peace out. Never ever give up on your DREAMS. That's my time. Thanks for viewing.